Yeah, exactly. That's my backup speech.
Julia, already. Can you hold this over there? Because I have a bad.
So I first met Mike over, I'd say, 25 years ago. And, let's see if I can do this. 4 indoor soccer championships later. Hundreds of Papagino's breadsticks. Thousands of ping pong duels, intense ping pong duels. 9,125 approximately bowls of ice cream. 2 short-lived online poker careers. 6 Canadian Thanksgivings. Yep. 35 months shared living together in Malden. And a 337-page, single-spaced novel we co-authored as middle schoolers. We're somehow still as close friends as ever. But, like any friends who grew up and spent as much time together as we did, we argued constantly. And, as anyone who's had the displeasure of arguing with Mike certainly knows, Mike is always right. But it's not that Mike always thinks he's right. Like I always thought I was right when I was arguing with him. Mike is actually, honest to God, always right. And you can imagine how frustrating this is for a 13-year-old kid arguing with him. But Mike's positions were always well thought out, well researched, and usually accompanied by advanced statistics that only Mike could really understand. My strategy, on the other hand, was much simpler. It was to argue for as long and as convolutedly as possible, and try to distract, annoy, confuse, or bore Mike enough that he would ultimately concede defeat. No. See, the only problem with arguing with Mike is that, again, as anyone who's ever argued with him certainly knows, that Mike also never concedes defeat. So needless to say, it was not a very successful strategy. Today, Mike is still that analytics, numbers first, thoughtful kid that I argued with as a 13-year-old who never does anything halfway. So, when Mike decided he wanted to work for the Red Sox, did he, send in an application, write a resume? No, of course not. Why would he do something like that? He created a website called HireMeTheo.com. Now, for those of you who didn't get a chance to visit HireMeTheo.com, it was, as it sounds, a website, a baseball statistics website dedicated to attracting the attention of the Red Sox general manager, Theo Epstein. That is how you apply for a job. But what I really love about Mike is that he applies the same scientific principles, pours just as much energy into the smallest decisions as he does large decisions like his career. So whether it's statistically proving that the Dave Matthews Band is overrated, or arguing that running a marathon can actually kill you because our ancestors were sprinters and not long-distance runners. Or by building some custom, future-telling, statistical-type model that only Mike can build that will predict the next contestant eliminated in American Idol. No matter what it is, Mike runs the numbers, Mike does the research, and at the end, Mike will passionately defend whatever conclusion he finds, and will pretty much stand by it. So, a few years later, when I was not at all surprised when Mike told me about his new dating rule. he wouldn't introduce to us, his meddling friends, any of the future girls he dated until he was safely engaged. It seemed a little extreme, but Mike certainly has a track record of standing by statements just as extreme. I've eaten vegetables in about 30 years. So, true to Mike's word, for the first few months he was dating Kristen, we didn't hear a thing. I do like to think that I noticed a little extra pep in his step, a few extra exclamation marks in his emails. In hindsight, but a few weeks later, out of the blue, Mike sent Alana a link to a website. Fastwomen.com. Honestly, God, is it fast? And it's not at all what you think. So in this email, inside this link was a photo of about 50 women running in a cross-country meet at Van Cortlandt Park in New York City. 50 women running. And Mike said proudly in the body of the email that he sent out, I am dating one of the 50 women in this story. So he's still sticking to the rules. He's dating one of the 50 women. Helpful. So imagine my surprise when a few days later, Mike followed that up with an invitation to go to a haunted hayride in Westwood, where we would ultimately meet this mysterious, fast woman. And at this point, my imagination is running wild. Is Mike already engaged? Is it possible? Is Mike already married? Maybe. Or is this some elaborate long con Mike's put together just to get us to go to a haunted hayride in Westwood? Mike, admit it, don't deny it. Love haunted hayride. But we did meet Kristen that night, and it was immediately apparent from the first time we met her why, so uncharacteristically, Mike had decided to break this dating rule and introduce her to all of us. Mike had met the girl who was ultimately going to marry. Mike had met Kristen, and there was never any doubt. And Mike couldn't wait another minute before introducing her to all of our friends and to show her off to all of us. Kristen, you make a beautiful bride. Together, you make a beautiful couple. And most importantly, you are already an amazing family. With that, that's all. Raise our glasses. Taryn, wherever you are, raise your sippy cup. Let's drink to Mike and to Kristen. Have a long, happy marriage. Woo! Cheers. Fantastic.